Hello and welcome to another 17-inch MacBook Pro video. This is part 2 in this series where we are now going to be restoring this MacBook Pro with the internals of this, the bottom case of this one, and the anti-glare display of this one. Should be a fun time. Let's go. So anyway, guys, I'm Greg Hrutkay of Hrutkay Mods, and welcome to part 2 of the MacBook Pro series, where we are going to be upgrading and repairing this 17-inch MacBook Pro. And in today's video, we will be doing all the case repairs and swapping the screens and stuff, which should be fun. But before we do that, let's show you the base setup of this system and show you the condition of the case and why I have to change the whole case anyway. So let's go. All right, so real quick, let's go over the current specs of this system. We've got the 17-inch late 2011 right here with the 2.4 gigahertz i7, 4 gigs of DDR3, and this is the fun part. That's not it. That's the fun part. It's so slow that, yeah, it's still loading. This hard drive right here, there it goes, is an 80 gig, 1.5 gig connection, aka SATA 1 hard drive from a first generation Mac Mini. In fact, this is the same hard drive that Jay put into the pre-World's Fastest mid-2012 when he rebuilt it in that one video right up here, where he literally put the hard drive in with Q-tips because we didn't have the hard drive mounts. And I decided to reuse that hard drive in this system, and this hard drive sucks. Like, really, really, really sucks. This system takes like 4 or 5 minutes to boot. I mean, it's oh, wow, it's slow. But we'll open up the system report here, and there is the Hitachi drive. It is not fast, and it is definitely SATA 1. It is so painfully slow. This is like a 5400 RPM drive. It was great on a first generation Mac Mini, but on this, it really, really hurts. So, yeah. That's the specs of this system currently, and that's the specs that this system will still have at the end of the video, but it will look totally different. And like I said earlier, in part 3, we will be upgrading the hard drive to an SSD and maxing out the RAM on this, and also replacing the battery, because this battery also is in really rough shape. Let's actually go back to that real quick. We'll go back to power. And as you can see here, cycles 829. By the time this is fully charged back up, it will be at 830. So, I mean, it's impressive. The battery still works, but it's quite old now. So we'll be replacing that too. But anyway, now let's switch over to actually look at the MacBook itself, and we'll show you all the problems with the case. All right, so here is the original MacBook Pro in all of its mucked up glory. It is rough. As we can see, we're missing a key. We've also got keys that have been rubbed completely through on it. And it's also been dropped a few times. There's literally a dent in the power button assembly here. It is quite hard to look at. That bothered me the second that I saw it. And I'm like, I can't just replace the keyboard. I need to replace the whole case. Well, it gets better. The corner of the screen is dented in. There is a large dent right here on the back of the case. There's chips everywhere. It's definitely been bounced off a piece of concrete at some point. The hinge is bent. There might be a dent there. There's a dent here. The ports look okay. So that's a bonus. They're just a little dirty. that works. The bottom case isn't the original bottom case, as far as I can tell. It's missing a foot. It says 2010 on it. I think all the 2011 said 2011 on them. It's covered in dents, and it's not that great looking. I mean, the only side that looks decent is the optical drive side, and it's even got chips and scratches in it. It's not a great looking case. I mean, this is usable. It's a daily user. It probably was anyway. It could still be a daily user, but all those parts really bother me, especially that. And we'd have to replace the key there, and yeah, it's just not worth it. So what we're going to be doing is, with this 2011 right here, we will be taking the bottom case assembly, which is in great shape, no dents, no marks, just a little dirty. The bottom case, it's a little dirty, but no dents. It's in great physical shape. So we'll be taking the bottom case of that. Then we'll also be taking the top case to this 2010, which actually doesn't have a logic board in it. So it's literally just a top case as far as I know now. And we'll be taking the screen off for the Antiglare, which I just took a nick out the rubber. Well, that sucks. It'll still work. It bothers me now. Yeah, the rubber has dry rotted some, and it's flaking off. Oh well, it will still work. The screen is filthy. We'll have to clean that. And we'll definitely have to change the clutch cover, because that is cracked all to hell there. But, yeah. So, we're going to take these three and combine them. Let's get to it. Alright, so we'll start with the Antiglare MacBook here, which I've just cleaned the top case. It's the only thing we need cleaned right now. So let's get this opened up. As we can see, Grooty Antiglare. That's Jay's handwriting. It hasn't been touched since I got it, so iFixit says I need, I don't know, what screws are these? They're Phillips. Probably a 1. So I'm not too worried about the screws on this one. I just want to make sure I get the case apart without breaking anything. Hey, that wasn't good. Well, there's the bottom case. And it's dirty again. I just cleaned that. Wow, this case was nasty. So I'm going to clean this screen again, and pray I didn't break it just now. And we'll be back in a second. And there's a clean screen. It looks fine. I don't think anything got damaged. And we're ready to move on to the 2011 part system and get the case apart. It should be fun. All right, let's start on this parts 2011 and see where it takes us. It's a little dirty, but not bad. Logic board seems pretty good. I don't know what we're going to be using in this kit. Hey, look, another hard drive mount. This one's not missing. This one's missing the one I need, though, so I'm glad the other one had it. We'll have to take out the logic board. We'll also have to remove the screen, and then we have to do the same thing to that one. This is going to be a long video.
This is the future.
Did that just break my tip off? It broke my tip off. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It literally broke my screwdriver. Really? Great. Uh-oh. Ah. Now I'll be back. I gotta go get my other toolkit. All right, let's try it again. Other kit. It broke another one. Okay, this is getting old. Oh, that's fun. He just broke my flathead too. I've broken 3 bits on one hinge. You've got to be kidding me. So I remember I had a Cobalt toolkit next door that had a T6 in it. Guess what? The solid core Cobalt tip, which I don't have the screwdriver handle for, it just broke off in the same screw. How am I going to get these out? Because I'm out of bits and out of ideas. Well, that looks like the end of the filming for tonight because I don't have any more T6s. Okay, I'm not fooling around now. I went to Harbor Freight and I got this on sale plus this plus another one. But we're not going to be using those. We're going to be using this because I'm fed up and I've already broken 4 bits. It's time to get dirty. I mean, we already have screws from the 2010 and there's plenty enough screws to replace the hinge screws if I broke the other ones in the other one. So, yeah, let's Dremel these ones, slot them, get them out quick. I literally just put it on. I haven't even tightened it yet. This is not looking good. Now, before you go and say something, yeah, I know this isn't the right wheel, and this probably isn't going to work, but I'm surprised that it didn't come with any fiberglass cutting wheels. By the way, you should wear eye protection. I'm not, but yeah, I'm getting this done one way or another. Yeah, this probably isn't going to work. I don't think I can grab onto that. Great. This probably won't work very well at all. What the hell? Stay. It just rounded the whole screw. Oh no. I got it! I had to cut it like 20 times, but I got it. I got it. That's just the first screw that won't come out. This is the one that broke 4 bits and still won't come out with a screwdriver very well, but it came out. Oh, come out already. Seriously? Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. Now let's see if we can get the rest out. I'm having doubts. We'll use a cheap bit just in case I break another T6, because I'm getting sick and tired of breaking T6s. All right, let's just see if the other screws come loose. I have a feeling they won't. This one broke the flathead. That one's about to break this bit. Oh, it all retwisted the crap out of it. Oh, this is going to be a long video. Wonder if that means it will still work as a T6 if I'm careful. Yeah, it still works as a T6, so we're just not going to break another tip right now. Let's slot them all, I guess. Yay. Well, here goes nothing. Let me get the cheap bit again, because I'm Like I said, I'm not breaking another bit on these screws. I can't get the corner one out. Oh. Alright, so I've got these two loose. Now I just got to slot that one because I've already tried that one. It won't come either. Thank you, Apple, for making it so easy to take these screws out that you have to use a Dremel tool to get them out. It's so convenient. Thank you so much, Apple. I really appreciate it. Alright, they're loose. So I just got to take them out now. I'm very tired. This was very nerve-wracking. I almost ended up cutting the LDVS cable on this. Yeah, it's fun using power tools on very, very delicate electronics. Oh boy, do I love it. It's just the most fun experience on earth. Yeah. Anyway, let's do this. Woo! There's the next one, which means now we just have to open it and then take the other two screws out. We've got the screen off on. It just took literally a day to do this. Longest disassembly in my life. Wow! The Loctite on these screws. No wonder they didn't come out. Hey, look at that Loctite. That is like insane. Come on, Apple. All right. That should just lift out. It's not lifting out. Huh. Well, anyway, the case is apart. I'll be right back. And there's our new top case that is now covered in metal shavings. But hey, at least we have a top case now. Now I just need to pull the clutch panel off of this in one piece. And we'll be off to the races on having all the parts we need to build that. Yay! Alright, so let's show you the parts that are going to go on it. We've got the bottom case from that Parts 2011, the clutch cover from that Parts 2011, and the freshly cleaned Antiglare from that 2010, which I need to put that clutch cover on. It should be fun. So, yeah, I'm going to do that, and then we'll start on that. Oh, and there's the bottom case, the 2011 also, so then all the case will be nice. Well, looking at the parts, I noticed that the base plate actually really is from a 2011. It was made in August of 2011. So that's cool. That's a real 2011 base plate. That's a real 2011 bottom case. And this is, of course, that screen. And it just hit me while I was doing all this. I can assemble this part right now because I don't need to take that one apart. Other than taking the logic board out. I'm dumb. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, I had to guess a little bit on how these cable management pieces went back on because iFixit doesn't really tell you because it's for 2009, I guess, and that was very different apparently. But yeah. Ta-da! So now we just got to put a logic board, battery, optical drive. Yeah, we're nowhere near to being finished yet. Oh boy. Alright guys, so here we are. We've got the new case here and the old case here with all the parts in it. I've noticed I'm missing a few screws, which I'll probably have to get some out of those part systems. The thing is, the part systems don't have many screws, so we may be short a screw or two on the bottom, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So I've got the guide here. We've got this here. I'm going to actually open the bottom up like so. And I don't know where I'm going to put it. Set it here carefully. There we go. So we're going to open this up and you'll see the monstrosity we have here with that hard drive and stuff in a second. So let's do it. Oh, that hard drive gets me every time. The J-Vry Special, ladies and gentlemen.
Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
See what happens. Oh, it's yeah. It wasn't even glued on anymore. It's so dry it just came right off. Wow, is that nasty? So I am going to clean this board real quick. We'll show you the chips and then we'll repaste it. Have you ever heard of peel and eat shrimp? Well, meet the world famous peel and eat chip. That is the AMD chip that gives everyone a headache and kills every single one of these systems. This chip no longer works, but it's there to remind you of just how stupid Apple was to use this chip. And also remind you that your once upon a time flagship MacBook Pro is now a complete and total dead paperweight. So yeah, that's that chip. It no longer works. It has been disabled, so that's not that big of an issue now, but that's what it looks like, and it's a piece of junk. And there's the i7, and then I think that's the chipset. I'm going to open that up real quick, clean it, and paste it too. But everything's been cleaned up, and the board looks a lot better than it did. And there is that Intel chipset. So now we just got to start doing the repasting, and the board will be nice and cleaned up, at least as clean as I can get it currently. I mean, the system's coming apart again in the future, so yeah, we'll at least get it nice and cooled now, so let's do it. Now, I don't need to repaste the chip right here, since it no longer turns on, but it just gives me peace of mind, if anything, because otherwise it's just going to bother me. I'm not going to spread it, though. There's no point. This one, on the other hand, we're going to spread the crap out of. So now we've got to transfer the stuff that's not on this case into this case. Alright guys, we're almost done. I am going to clean these fans because I forgot to clean them. And then I'll be right back. Alright, so I don't have any hard drive mount screws right now. That's, I guess, the reason why we Q-tipped it in. And I didn't know that, so I may have to order them or come up with a different idea later. But right now we'll put the hard drive mount in. It goes like... Is that everything before I put the bottom on? Now I managed to find 2 more case screws. I'm missing 2, I think. But it's most of the screws. I've never tested this LCD, so this is going to be an experience. I don't know if this LCD works. This may have just been a huge waste of time. I hope it isn't, though. So yeah, we're missing 2 case screws, but that's not a big deal. No extra screws left over. Let's see if I'm lined up in the camera here. Almost. All right, guys. So here is the moment of truth. Is it going to turn on? screen works. Please boot. Hey, it's actually working. Awesome. So yeah, guys, that's most of the end of part 2. We're going to wrap up the video now and talk about what we're doing in part 3. So this should be fun. Let's let this boot up for the next hour. Slow hard drive. So I'll see you in about an hour. That won't take that long. All right, guys, so I have managed to test every aspect of this MacBook Pro, and everything seems to work perfectly. This video took a lot longer than I figured it would, and I wasn't expecting to have to use power tools to get the thing apart. Well, the part system's there in a pile in front of the camera now. But, you know, in the end, the bottom case is basically perfect. There's like one little scuff on it. The top case, it's got a few little light dents in it, and you know, it's got some light scratching here and there. There's also a few small nicks on the back of the case, but you know, it's a lot better, in a lot better condition than it was. And this anti-glare display is perfect, but no matter how many times I clean it, it keeps getting dirty again because the frame apparently has crumbs and earwax and other stuff in it that I didn't realize. And I don't know how to get that out without taking the screen apart. I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to continue to clean it until it stops dripping crumbs out of it. Also, the display, like I pointed out earlier, the rubber is dry rotten around the seal. And it is already leaving a mark on the case from the dry rotten rubber. And there is just, there's no rubber right here, really. It's all chipped out. But still, it closes nicely. Everything is lined up perfectly. The clutch panel is perfect. Everything is perfect, except, you know, this display came off a very used system. That system got used a lot. And luckily, it's still in really good shape. It's just between the earwax, and at least I figure that's earwax, it's not pretty. And I just noticed that while looking at it, getting ready for the camera shot. So yeah, it's definitely looks like earwax. Besides that, the crumbs coming out the frame, you know, it's perfect. I mean, as perfect as it can get for the price I got all this stuff for. And when I bought this system, it was a very good deal, in my opinion, even though it was not in great shape, because back in 2019, these were still wanted systems that a lot of people still wanted for some crazy reason, probably because it was the last of 17-inch. But, you know, people were willing to suffer with either not having a working GPU or being stuck with HD 3000 graphics, which I am currently stuck with HD 3000 graphics. But we've got more plans coming up in part 3 and part 4 if there is one. But yeah, right now, that's it for now. This system is in good shape. Everything works. I'm very happy with the end result. The SSD, the battery, and all that stuff should be here in the next few days. And I'll also have to figure out a way to mount the SSD so it's not held in by Q-tips. We may hold off on that, though, because Q-tips on an SSD will work fine. It just doesn't look good. Yeah. But the system works fully. I've tested every function. Everything works great. So that's awesome. I'm very happy with the end result. And we've got a lot more coming up in part 3. We'll be doing some tests. And I'm thinking of installing Sonoma on this and experimenting with it. If anything, maybe something a little older, Monterey, Ventura, something still supported, seeing how it performs. And maybe testing a few things out with the Thunderbolt port that's still in it. Spoiler alert. you know what might be coming up. But anyway, yeah, so that's the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was very frustrating. I nearly lost my mind. But yeah, I'm very happy it's in the state it's in now. It works great, and I'm happy with that. So yeah. Anyway, guys, don't forget, I do now have a Patreon. If you'd like to support me, I'd greatly appreciate it. There'll be a link at the end of the video and also in the description below. And with Patreon, you get to see these videos at least a day early. Also, we have memberships if you hit that join button, where you can see a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you just can't see anywhere else. But, of course, watching my videos helps me out a lot. But if you'd like to go the extra mile, I'd greatly appreciate it and be very grateful. Anyway, that's the end of today's video, and this has been a Hrutkay Mods video. Bonus material, guys. You guys saw in part 1 when we were at Colin's house doing the gMux flash, and he pointed out the gMux version. I just literally realized it says DOS Lab. D051AB. DOSLAB. That was creative, Colin. Very creative.